Hello and welcome to Harvard Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts for tonight's NWSL matchup between the visiting Portland Thorns and the Boston Breakers. Alongside former Boston Breaker Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudikoff, and we thank you for tuning in on this Sunday evening in August as the Breakers get set to take on the Thorns for the third and final time this year. The Breakers come in a very tough season at 4-15-2, a 2-1 loss this past Wednesday against FC Kansas City, a game that only played 45 minutes. They played just one half due to severe weather in the area, the game being called at halftime. Meanwhile, Portland at 9-7-6. They played a week ago Sunday at home against Houston, a 1-0 shutout victory for the Thorns, a game in which the team set an NWSL record for attendance. Over 19,000 were in attendance in Portland at Providence Park last Sunday, and now the Thorns trying to continue their push towards the playoffs. As we take a look at the standings in the NWSL, at the bottom you see the Breakers along with Houston, both the Dash and the Breakers eliminated from playoff contention. Meanwhile, at the top, Seattle has clinched the number 1 spot. They'll host one of the semifinals on August 23rd, and FC Kansas City clinching the second spot due to the victory over Boston on Wednesday. FCKC will host the other semifinal on August 24th. Portland, 4th place right now. They cannot clinch a spot tonight, but a win for Portland tonight would eliminate Western New York and Sky Blue. And Catherine, for Boston, not much to play for in terms of where they're going to be in the standings, other than the fact that they're maybe trying to get out of the cellar, but they could play the role of spoiler. If they can beat Portland tonight, Portland has to sweat it out a little bit more. They could also keep a couple of teams alive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's in the back of their mind a little bit, aside from just playing for pride, like you said, playing spoilers for some other teams, especially after the loss this week. I'm sure there's a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They left that game with kind of a bad taste in their mouth. And, you know, like you said, they don't want to end the year in last place. So I'm sure they'll mix the roster tonight, mix their game plan up a little bit. Just why not at this point? And what we're hearing tonight is there's supposed to be a really big crowd here for Boston, so I'm sure they just want to put on a show for their fans tonight too.
That is definitely true. These two teams in 2 prior matchups, Boston won here on May 28th, 4-1. That was the game in which Jasmine Reeves had 3 goals and an assist. Portland, though, returned the favor, and that first ever ESPN game for women's professional soccer back on July 20th, a 6-3 win for Portland in that one, so we could expect a bunch of goals here tonight. Looking at the players to watch in this one, on the Portland side, she is somebody that can put up a bunch of goals. She has 7 on the year. It's Christine Sinclair.
Yeah, definitely. Number 12, Christine Sinclair. Like you said, she scored the first Thorns hat trick in history against Boston on July 20th, and she has 7 goals and an assist on the year. 4 of those goals have been against Boston. She's definitely the spark for their offense, so we'll keep an eye on her this game. Also, her 33 shots on goal rank her 3rd in the NWSL. And on the Boston side, it's going to be the player who is tasked with trying to stop the shots of Christine Sinclair. That's Alyssa Nair, the goalkeeper. Yep, number 1, Alyssa Nair for Boston. She's played every minute of every game this season. She's been their rock back there. She's leading the league with 85 saves, so she's definitely been tested. And this is obviously a tough team, a tough road opponent. They've scored at least 1 point in 3 of the last 4 road games, so she'll be vital back there for Boston to try and get a win tonight. And Nair could very well be the team MVP for the Breakers this season, and she has done everything she has been able to do to try to get the Breakers in position to win games this year, but a lot of bad bounces, a lot of tough breaks for the Breakers throughout the year has them down at the bottom of the NWSL standings. We'll take a break, but when we come back, we'll get you the starting lineups in the opening kickoff from Harvard Stadium, Boston and Portland, coming right up.
Boston Breakers Soccer is brought to you by Bertucci's, a proud partner of the Breakers. By We Got Soccer. We Got Soccer is proud to partner with the Breakers for their 2014 campaign. By the University Sports Complex, a partner of the Breakers, the largest sports facility in all of New England. By Steward Health, the title sponsor of the Boston Breakers. By Katz Sports Performance Center, the official performance training provider of the Boston Breakers. By TCG Network Services, a proud sponsor and the official IT services provider of the Boston Breakers. By Minuteman Health. Minuteman Health invites you to join the revolution. Learn how to enroll at minutemanhealth.org. By CIP Insurance. Visit www.askcip.com. And by Rockland Trust. For more information on Rockland Trust, visit rocklandtrust.com. The NWSL is proudly sponsored by National Guard, by Nike, and by the U.S. Soccer Foundation. Welcome back to Harvard Stadium, just a couple of moments away from the opening kickoff of this one. Portland and Boston at the stadium. Good day for soccer. And mostly sun overhead, 74 degrees. As you see, Portland coming off the field right now. See the starting lineup for them. Nadine Ungerer in goal, making her 21st start of the year. The duo of Sinclair and Morgan in the starting lineup, of course. And the players on the bench, Kerr, McDonald, along with Van Hollebeck and Huffman Betos, the backup keeper for Portland, Paul Riley, in his first year as the head coach for the Thorns. Starters for the Breakers are Lissonaire, of course, in goal. Jones, Whitehill, King back on defense. We have O'Reilly, Sanderson, Schepfer, and Mewis in the midfield. See on the bench, Jasmine Reeves. She came into the game today on the injury report, probable with a left foot sprain. She's available to play. Katie Schepfer was also probable. You saw her in the starting lineup. And the Courtney Jones was questionable. She's in the starting lineup as well. As you see, Nadine Ungerer, number 1 there in the huddle for Portland. And again, making her 21st start as a 1.40 goals against average on the year. And Alyssa Nair, who we spotlighted in the open, leads the NWSL with 85 saves. The referees for tonight's contest: on the sideline, Portland head coach Paul Riley The Thorns cannot clinch a playoff spot yet with a win tonight due to Chicago's win yesterday. But a win would eliminate both Western New York and Sky Blue from contention. A draw would eliminate Western New York. So the two teams getting into position as we get set for the opening kickoff. Scott Sudikoff and Catherine Donnelly here with you at Harvard Stadium. And we encourage you to contact us through Twitter. Tonight, you see our handles at Sudikoff and at KCDonnelly14. Questions, comments, and we'll try to read some of the best stuff that comes our way. And we are underway in Boston. Portland will be in the white uniforms, moving right to left, and Boston in the blue. Early mix-up there between Washington and Morgan as Morgan hit the turf for the time being, now back up. And that long pass out wide. It's Christy Mewis on the run for it. Gives it up to Sanderson. Sanderson crossed into the box for O'Reilly. O'Reilly on the end line, pops it up to the far post. Mewis crashing in. Shepford trying to get a shot off, and it's directed out of bounds off of Portland. So Boston has a corner kick less than a minute in.
And they go for the short one right away.
Jones sends it into the middle of the box, comes out. Shepford can't get a foot on it. Now it's Washington. Her long-range shot is scooped up by Ungerer. The Breakers, 1 minute in, put some pressure on Portland. And the last time these two teams played in Portland, a 6-3 game. That one was back and forth, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Yeah. It was 3-3 at halftime before Portland scored 3 in the second half, and Christine Sinclair had the hat trick for the Thorns. That gets headed out of bounds. It'll be a Boston throw-in.
We talked about earlier that Coach Durkin's probably going to rotate players around and just switch up their game plan. It looks like he's kind of done that. Whitehill, who's been in the center back for every minute of every game so far this season, in a center mid position with Jones.
O'Reilly looking for some space, a left-footed shot. Can't curl it in towards the post. O'Reilly had the goal for Boston on Wednesday against Kansas City. It was a penalty kick. And again, the Breakers and FCKC only played 45 minutes in that one. Delayed a couple of hours due to severe weather. And then called at halftime due to lightning in the area. So Kansas City was able to clinch the number 2 spot in the playoffs, and they will host semifinal number 2 on August the 24th. Their opponent yet to be determined, as the number 3 and number 4 spots are still up in the air, currently held by Washington and Portland, with Chicago, Western New York, and Sky Blue still fighting. But again, a Portland win today would eliminate both Western New York and Sky Blue and leave it to 3 teams for 2 spots. This is Stephanie Catley, and she'll play it back to Menges, and all the way back now for Ungerer. Portland's last game a week ago Sunday, a 1-0 victory over Houston, and mentioned in the open, over 19,000 in attendance, an NWSL record. That game was also on ESPN, so a couple of games in Portland had that national spotlight, and you had a 9-goal game, and also the biggest crowd in league history. O'Reilly with her left foot trying to get it through to Mewis. It was taken away. King keeps it away from Sinclair. And now on the run, O'Reilly can't get there for Boston. It'll be a Portland throw-in. This is Vero Boquette. She played it along with her left foot, but no one there to get it. As Alyssa Nair will track it down for Boston. Boquette's played in 13 games for Portland, has now scored 4 goals to go along with 6 assists. She is the top 4 in assists in the league. On the far side of the field, the foul goes against Boston, and Allie Long will restart the action for the Thorns. She has scored 9 goals. That's second on the team behind Jessica McDonald, who starts the game on the bench. McDonald scored 11 this year. So we're 5 minutes in, and Boston has had the only chance so far.
Yeah, they had 2 pretty good early chances so far.
And a corner kick that went short on. Mana Shim gave it up backwards. Now on the near side, Catley. Quickly back to Menges. Good moves by Boquette, sending it out wide, but the offside flag is up. Allie Long offside. Breakers just 3-7 at home this year. 1 more home game remaining after today, a week from today, against Houston. And this coming Wednesday, they'll play at Chicago. Long sends it through, and again, it'll be Nair to play it at the top of the box. Portland, 3-3-5 on the road, so they have held their own. Boquette gives it up to Catley. Catley connects with Sinclair. And that one goes well wide of the cage.
Nice touch by Whitehill there.
O'Reilly making a run down the center of the field. They're trying to connect, but a good play defensively. I think that was Menges.
Yep. Smart play by her.
And it trickles out of bounds at midfield. So a Portland throw-in. Stephanie Catley gets it in for Menges. And now a misplay gives the ball back to Boston. Sanderson looked like she got pushed in the back there by Menges, but play continues.
She was looking for her to come to her feet.
Menges will give it back to Ungerer, who waits for it. Sanderson gives some pressure. And that goes out of bounds. Boston throw-in upcoming on the near side. Portland trying to get back to the playoffs to defend their crown, the NWSL champions in the inaugural season of 2013. Washington trying to get it to Sanderson. O'Reilly tries her luck, and a foul in the box. Penalty kick for Boston. Oh, we'll assume it'll be Heather O'Reilly, because that has been her forte this season. Had one on Wednesday, and a chance for Boston to get on the board early. As we take a look at what happens. Just got tripped up right there at the edge of the box. So it'll be O'Reilly against Ungerer. Ungerer has made the stop on 1 of 4 penalty kicks this season. by Unger, got a hand on it off the post. So a big save by Nadine Ungerer, her second penalty kick stop of the year.
Just gets a hand on it. The post is there to help her out.
Yeah, without that hand, it was going to be tucked inside that post and just enough to redirect it. So a big play in the 10th minute. Now the corner kick is headed out to the top. Whitehill with her left foot, blocked in front, and the score! Rachel Wood scores her first professional goal.
She goes down, gets back up, and is there for the rebound.
Yeah, she initially went up for the header. So 1-0 Boston. In the 11th minute, Rachel Wood, her first goal. This play is onside. Portland trying to get it back. Morgan fighting her way through, but
nice recovery by Pathman there.
And Nair coming out to get the ball. So at the 12th minute, 1-0 Boston. On the goal by Wood. Came after the penalty kick saved by Unger on O'Reilly. And then the ensuing corner kick led to the goal. Into the box. Morgan pops it up towards the far post. Sinclair can't get there. And cleared out of bounds by Pathman. It'll be a throw-in in the corner.
It's a nice little outside of the foot touch there by Morgan. She knew she was that close in that range, so.
In the box, blocked by King. Sinclair had a chance right there. Catley plays it back for Menges. Taken away by Courtney Jones. Middle of the field for Mewis. One touch to Sanderson. Now sending it out wide to Shepfer. As Boston moves forward. Shepfer trying to get to Mewis. Pass was a little off target.
Here comes Morgan. 1v1 with King.
Into the middle. Boquete trying to get a shot off. Sinclair right there in the middle of the box. Trickles through. And down to get it is Alyssa.
That's been one of the struggles for the Breakers. Is their 1v1 defending and their positioning sometimes, but they did a good job recovering there, and Nair was there to make the save.
So Portland, after the Boston goals, had a couple of good-looking opportunities.
Miscommunication there.
And a whistle, foul.
Offsides.
Excuse me, offsides. Looking at the injury report for this one, Boston out is Kem Ezerike once again with a right hip strain. And he had Jones listed as probable, or check that, Jones as questionable, and Shepfer as probable, but both in the starting lineup. Jones an ankle sprain, Shepfer a knee bruise. Jasmine Reeves is available. She was listed as probable with a left foot sprain. Coming up the near sideline and take it away. And on the Portland side, Courtney Nemec, Kat Tarr, Tobin Heath, Sinead Farrelly all out. Tobin Heath out with an LCL sprain in her knee.
Nair's coming way off her line here.
With Sinclair coming after her.
think she wanted to let that one go out, but a little too much pressure from Sinclair there.
Throw in coming. Van Hollebeck listed as probable with a concussion. She is available on the bench right now for the Thorns. In the 15th minute, 1-0 Boston.
The Boston Breakers would like to acknowledge the following groups attending tonight's match. U16 AAA Northwest New Brunswick Soccer League of Canada. Waterfront Fury. Tees XL.
Brooks sends it to the far side of the field.
Youth Soccer. Dream Team Football Club under 16 girls.
That pass to the middle was trying to go to long there. And off target, it'll bounce back to Ongerer. Scott Sudikoff and Catherine Donnelly here with you at Harvard Stadium. Feel free to get in contact with us on Twitter at Sudikoff and at KC Donnelly 14. Questions and comments about tonight's game. We'll try to read through some of them, or at least respond to some of the things we see. Someone had asked about the status of Tobin Heath, and again, she is out with LCL sprain in her knee. As Rachel Wood heads it ahead to Schepfer. Trying to go through there to O'Reilly. It was cut off, and then a bad pass from Portland turns it right back over. This is Nikki Washington. Gets into some space. Crosses it towards O'Reilly. Mana Shim gets knocked out. Foul called on Boston. Comes down to Christine Sinclair, working against Pathman. Switches to her right foot, looking for her partner, Morgan. At the edge of the box, Wood will just get it out of bounds. Smart play by the rookie, Rachel Wood, working against an all-world player in Alex Morgan. Don't take any chances.
A lot of Morgan jerseys in the crowd tonight last game.
I think that's an understatement.
Yeah.
At the top of the box, left-footed shot, and they save. Nair now trying to track it down in the corner before it goes out. But it'll be a throw-in for Portland as Morgan trying to tie it up for the Thorns. Morgan, after starting the year with an injury, has now played in today's her 13th game, 5 goals, 4 assists. Turnover, Boston trying to go on the counterattack. Sanderson did not play for Boston a week ago here at home, but she was back with the team on Wednesday against Kansas City. Here's Sinclair against Washington. One touch to the near side to Shim. Back to Boquette. And it's taken away. Whitehill, the defense, along with Courtney Jones. Portland, though, able to regain possession. Portland throw it. This is Boquette. Sends it across. Allie Long. Down goes Nair to deflect it out of bounds. But a great play by Nair.
Great play.
As Long was right there for a chance. And actually, I believe they did call that offside.
Oh, yeah.
They did have the flag up, so a chance nonetheless for Portland. The offside flag did go up. Thorns, though, keeping the pressure on. Since Boston has scored, it's been pretty much all Portland. Catley. Gives it to Vero. I believe that's what she has on the back of her jersey, so we'll go with it. It's here on the near side, Catley along the end line. Back to Vero. Against Whitehill, a little bit of contact, stays with it. Now Shepford knocked it away. Rebecca Moros. Double team by Mewis and Pathman. It comes free to Shepford. Pathman taking it up the field.
Nice job by Sanderson to keep that in. Tries to play an early ball to O'Reilly, but goes out of bounds.
And Sanderson throw in quickly. Portland will try to regroup in its defensive end. The 21st minute. Boston scoring in the 11th minute. Rachel Wood, her first professional goal. It came moments after a penalty kick save by Nadine Ongerer against Heather O'Reilly. And the ensuing corner kick led to the Wood goal. Portland has had a couple of chances since. Most recently, Alex Morgan as Washington into the box and sent it out too far. Could not control it.
On behalf of the Boston Breakers players and staff, we would like to wish a very happy birthday to Debbie Spinelli, Jenna Lowe, Ellie Teixeira, and Flynn.
There's a great example of Washington using her speed from the outside back position. She scored a goal against Portland in the loss, the 6-3 loss, but she's definitely a threat in the outside back position.
She, along with O'Reilly and Shepford, scored the goals on July 20th at Portland.
I believe Washington was a former Portland Thorn, right?
Yes, you are correct. Last year played 11 games, had a goal and 2 assists. Was injured late in the year, late July, with Portland a year ago. And of course came to Boston on a trade on April 29th from Houston, where she played 3 games this year.
Goes off of Morgan's back there.
Goes out, throw in coming. Morgan, the header comes down to Vero, into the box and back out, played out by Wood. Courtney Jones now at the throw in for Boston. Comes down to Sanderson. Looped ahead, Mewis. Stops her momentum now. Turns her back. Gets it off to Shepford. Fires one from far out. Goes wide right. Almost 30 yards out there from Shepford, but she does have that cannon for her right foot. We work in the 24th minute. Breakers the 1-goal lead. 1-goal games, though, something that has not been very favorable for Boston this year. 1 in 8 in previous 9 1-goal games. Heather O'Reilly trying to make it a 2-goal game. O'Reilly, she does. It got the fingertips of Unger, it looked like, but Heather O'Reilly scores her 9th of the year. 2-0 Boston.
That was a beautiful ball by Sanderson, and we've seen a few breakaways from O'Reilly this year, and she's put more than a few of them away, and that was another example of why she's such a great veteran on this team. She sees it, nice little chip to the far post.
So Unger, not sure if she got a finger on it or not, but either way, O'Reilly makes it 2-0 in the 25th minute, her 9th of the season. And after having that penalty kick saved by Unger, able to score that one.
I'm sure that definitely feels good after that.
O'Reilly sends it towards Unger, makes her make a play there. Well, I was just saying before that goal, Boston's record in 1-goal games at 1-8, so O'Reilly for the time being making sure it's a 2-goal game. Breakers have been shut out 5 times this year. Of course, that will not happen tonight. The 2 prior games between these two teams, 14 total goals scored. 4-1 Boston back in May, and 6-3 Portland a couple of weeks ago. 2 already on the board, almost 26 minutes in tonight.
And 2 sets of hat tricks, 1 from each side.
Jasmine Reeves in May for Boston, Christine Sinclair for Portland.
Breakers goal. Scored the 25th minute by number 9.
Leanne Sanderson picking up the assist on the O'Reilly goal. And a yellow card being issued here to Christine Sinclair. Caught her with her left foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A yellow card caution has been
Second yellow card caution of the year against Christine Sinclair,
in the 27th minute.
the 30-year-old Canadian international player. O'Reilly deflected into the air by Catley. O'Reilly goes back after it. Left foot into the box, trying to get it to Sanderson. It gets there. And a good play on defense. Not allow that shot to get through. Nikki Marshall, 26-year-old defender for the Thorns. He's played in all 23 games. And maybe saved a 3rd Boston goal there. Corner kick upcoming for Courtney Jones. Heather O'Reilly joining her in the vicinity. Out to Pathman, left foot from 20 yards out, trickles free. This is Wood. And they earn another corner kick, back-to-back for the Breakers. That was a different look, certainly
nice
for
little
Boston.
play from Boston there. Nice driven ball by Pathman. Looks like O'Reilly will be on this corner kick though. Jones there with her.
Headed out by Portland. Whitehill will play it all the way back. Pathman. Morgan trying to turn it upfield for Sinclair. And now Vero Boquete. Cleared back down by King. Settles down for Morgan on the far side. Mewis going after her teammates on the U.S. national team. Ungerer switch sides with it. This play is onside. Sinclair with Wood recovering. Sinclair turns with the left foot, blocked by King. So Wood did a good enough job to stay with it and allowed King to come help her out. And a long clear by Julie King. Menges plays it back for Unger. We're in the 30th minute. Goals by Wood in the 11th minute. And O'Reilly in the 25th minute for Boston. The 2-0 lead. This is offside. Alex Morgan alongside Catherine Donnelly. I'm Scott Sudikoff. You can find us on Twitter tonight. Trying to answer soccer-related questions.
Some more than others.
We've had a question about our preference of dogs versus cats. Not really sure how to work that into a broadcast.
Team dogs. Hashtag team dogs.
Try to keep it at soccer-related questions.
All right, I was a terrier. BU
Right.
terrier, so there you go.
I was a turtle, so let's not go there. Brooks plays it to the far side. Pathman got over there before Moros could get to the ball. It'll be a Portland throw-in. Morgan gets pushed down by Wood. Portland after today trying to check what's upcoming for them. Gets that in a moment. As a free kick coming. We're about 30 yards away from the goal line. Vero into the box. The header up over the crossbar.
The Boston Breakers would like to acknowledge the following groups attending tonight's match. Northeastern University Women's Soccer. Boston Breakers Academy Under 13.
So, you know, look at this chance for the Thorns.
Section FC.
After today, as I was saying, Portland finishes off the season a week from today. They'll play at home against the #1 team in the league, Seattle. And we'll see if a week from today, Portland might still be fighting for a playoff spot. Again, a Portland win today would eliminate Western New York and Sky Blue. A draw would eliminate Western New York. Portland cannot clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight, but it would certainly help their case. Sanderson running along the far side, battling with Nikki Marshall. And as we play into the 33rd minute, Molly Patham will have the throw in for Boston. The only game in the league tonight. 2 games on Wednesday. Sky Blue and Western New York. As I've already said, the scenarios today, that game could mean a lot or it could mean nothing for the playoffs, depending upon what Portland does here. And Boston will be at Chicago on Wednesday, and the Red Stars right now 2 points behind Portland for that final playoff spot. So tonight, Chicago is Boston fans, and then when they come to town on Wednesday, they'll try to beat them. Offside on O'Reilly. Portland, the quick restart. Correction on the last call, not an offside, a handball. Just want to get that right, of course. We strive for 99% accuracy. Ball played through towards the box. Wood gets it away from Morgan. Well, Rachel Wood has done a pretty good job defensively against the combo of Morgan and Sinclair so far, and probably helped out confidence-wise by scoring a goal too. So we've worked our way into the 35th minute. And there's a big save again by Alyssa Nair. We've seen that all season long. leading the league in saves at 85 to start the game tonight, and continuing to add to that total. Menges gets it away from Sanderson, but Shepard intercepts it, streaking forward, deflected into the box and away from Mewis, played away and out by Ungerer. Good crowd on hand at Harvard Stadium, expecting around 5,000. Unfortunately, due to the setup here at the stadium, our camera angle doesn't show it, but
yeah.
we can promise you we
Nice full crowd tonight.
good sized crowd here on the near side of the field. And 5,000 would be the largest crowd in Boston this season. It would be the largest crowd in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Moving from the smaller stadium a couple of miles away into a very spacious stadium that can seat about 30,000 if you fit everyone in.
One day, hopefully, we'll get to fill that.
That's a good question. Maybe Catherine can answer this one. I have a tweet asking who's the fastest player in the NWSL?
The fastest player. Geez, I don't know. Morgan might be probably.
Got to think about it. I guess
Yeah,
it's not really an on-the-spot answer.
O'Reilly, of course. There's probably two of them playing against each other tonight.
Remember seeing Sydney LaRue last year. She
Oh,
was
yeah,
pretty
of
quick
course,
herself.
yeah.
Coming down to O'Reilly, settles it. Now here's Nikki Washington on the near side of the field. O'Reilly was too far away from her. Stepping up, trying to keep it alive was Courtney Jones.
When we actually did the 20-yard dash testing, our preseason, when I was on the team, Jones actually won. So for the Breakers,
Might be Courtney Jones.
Yeah, it might be Courtney Jones.
Seen her all over the field this year.
Yeah.
Has scored 3 goals. Played defense, midfield, forward. Catley trying to get by O'Reilly. Whitehill for King, and the referee makes a play there. Can't say he got in the way. I mean, he's got to have his space on the field, so the pass just was there. Now Portland trying to take advantage of it. Headed out from the top of the box by Wood. Coming out to Sanderson. Moros checking her. Rachel Wood, her first goal in the 11th minute. Heather O'Reilly, her 9th in the 25th minute. And that's your score, 2-0 Boston. Have a vote for Lisa Devanna. It's one of the fastest players in the NWSL. Had a chance to see her for a few games here, of course, before being traded away. Sanderson was trying to take advantage of the Portland turnover, but the Thorns take it back. That chip was going ahead towards Allie Long. Rachel Wood, though, the defensive play. Now Sanderson plays it back for Pathman. Pathman up the sideline, but deflected off of Sanderson's foot for a Portland throw-in.
Oh, Morgan's onside, it looks like.
Morgan, and Nair makes the save.
Great save by Nair.
Well, it's right on cue as I was looking down at a tweet, a question about Alyssa Nair. Has she been getting better as the season been going on, or is the defense getting better? I mean, she has been playing from really the start of the year. She's been playing so well, but it seems as if she has gotten better as the year has gone on.
And actually, our old communication manager, Ryan Wood, I don't know if he's listening tonight, but he tweeted earlier before the game started, Nair needed 15 saves to set the Breakers franchise record for saves in a season that she holds with 99 in 2011 in WPS. So
right now, she has 4 or 5 so far today. She might not reach it today, but still 2 more games to go. And it's her record already. So.
Right.
Allie Long. They're on the far side against Molly Pathman. And I believe that Ryan Wood is watching the game tonight. He's already been chiming in a few times. No relation to Rachel. Not that I know of. As a throw-in coming for Catley in the 41st minute. Portland trailing Boston 2-0. The Thorns, a victory would eliminate 2 teams from the playoffs, Western New York and Sky Blue. They don't really care about the fate of those 2 teams. They just want to take care of themselves. 2 points ahead of Chicago. Chicago beat beat Kansas City yesterday 2-1. And that was a game for Kansas City that didn't mean, well, to put it bluntly, meant nothing.
Yep.
Because they had clinched the number 2 spot and hosting a semifinal on Sunday, August 24th. Portland looking for 1 before the break. There's Morgan, the left foot tap in, saved by Nair. Great delivery. I'll say unofficially, Alyssa Nair has, I'm going to go with 5 saves.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get the official number at halftime.
Yep.
She's stopped Morgan at least 3 times already.
TCG is very happy to support the Breakers each season. Check them out at www.tcgns.com or call 866-TCG-NETW for outstanding service and support.
Monashim out wide, near side Catley. Washington going after her. Catley with the cross. Popped up to the air by King. Pathman tried to clear it out. She does. Now Whitehill. And Jones trying on the counterattack. Mewis gathers on the far side of the field. Sanderson settles it down, gives back to Mewis. And sends it too far out in front of Courtney Jones. Here's Morgan. Tiptoeing near the box, the help from King. Taken away. Morgan looks a bit frustrated. Walking back up the field. Mewis angling back towards the center. Plenty of room for her. Mewis scored her first 2 goals of the season last Sunday. 4-3 loss to Western New York, another heartbreaker for Boston. A game they trailed 3-1 into the final 25 minutes or so. Scored 2 in a row to tie it, but Western New York, fighting for their playoff life, scored 1 in stoppage time to get the victory. So back-to-back 1-goal losses for Boston right now.
Breakers fans, be sure to grab your Breakers Nike t-shirts.
There'll be a Boston throw-in here. As we are 44 minutes in. Rachel Wood playing in just her 5th game of her career, scored her first goal in the 11th minute. Heather O'Reilly not playing in her 5th game of her career, playing in her 20th of the season. Scored her 9th in the 25th minute. That's Wood who knocks it out of bounds and not allowing Sinclair to move forward with it. Quick turnover by Portland. Whitehill gives it back. Sinclair. And that one goes high up off the, almost the face of Barrow there. May have caught her. So into stoppage time we go. 1 minute of extra time added on here. 2-0 Boston. Allie Long, the cross. Knocked out by Washington, and O'Reilly able to track it down. Washington having trouble with it as Sinclair comes after. Sinclair knocks it away, but couldn't catch back up to it along the end line. Goal kick for Listener. Portland is 3-1-2 in its last 6 games. One more game after today, next Sunday against Seattle, as Mewis maneuvers her way through 2 defenders. Now able to get the possession back. The cross towards Courtney Jones. And the whistle to end the first half. So Rachel Wood scores in the 11th minute. Heather O'Reilly in the 25th. And that's your scoring in the first half of play. Boston a 2-0 lead over Portland. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and have stats, highlights, and of course the second half of action for you. Once again, the score at halftime. Boston 2, Portland 0. More to come from Boston in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the field the Fall 2013 Division I High School Champions, Newton North. Breakers fans, one more round of applause for your 2013 High School champions, Newton North. The Olympics are involved. Hey, Breakers fans, it is now time for the We Got Soccer Center Spot Challenge. Participants each have a numbered ball. One by one, each player will attempt to get their soccer ball as close to the center spot as possible. The closest ball wins a $25 gift card for We Got Soccer. Please welcome members from New North Soccer. All right, Breakers fans, let's cheer them on as they attempt the We Got Soccer Center Spot Challenge. Breakers fans, let's hear it for the winner of the We Got Soccer Center Spot Challenge. The National Guard is proud to be the official armed forces partner with the Boston Breakers. Be on the lookout for our free grassroots soccer clinics in your area. Visit GuardsSoccer.com to find out how optimal insulated players, their parents, and coaches can learn the many benefits offered by the Guard, including tuition assistance. That's GuardsSoccer.com. Please be sure to visit NWSLsoccer.com for all your up-to-the-date information, news standings, and more. NWSLsoccer.com provides fans with the latest news, scores, and information on all your favorite players and clubs. Visit NWSLsoccer.com today. Is your company concerned about the costs and regulations surrounding your medical insurance and 401k plan? Contact the CIP Group. They're no partner of the Boston Breakers, and let their team advise you to navigate the regulatory environment and maximize your employee benefit dollars. Visit SCIP.com. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter, or visit NikeSoccer.com for all the latest news and information on Nike Soccer products. A small decision makes a huge difference. At Stewart Center for Advanced Cardiac Surgery in St. Louis, their team of expert surgeons offers the broadest array of conventional and minimally invasive cardiac surgery options. Some are so innovative, they're not done anywhere else in New England, making St. Louis Center the region's fastest growing cardiac center and earning us a national reputation as one of our top the title sponsor of your Boston Breakers. The University Sports Complex, a partner of the Boston Breakers, is the largest sports facility in all of Manhattan. The facility boasts 8 regulation-sized basketball courts and a 132-yard indoor turf field. The university is home to various sports camps, fitness classes, adult and youth sports leagues, birthday parties, and more. Visit www.theunova.com for more information. Aflac is a proud partner of the Boston Breakers and an extra measure of financial protection. Major medical pays doctors and hospitals, but when you're sick or hurt, Aflac pays cash benefits directly to you to help you and your family with daily expenses. And when you have an Aflac policy, it's yours. Even if you change jobs or retire, you can take your Aflac policy with you. For more information about Aflac, visit www.aflac.com.
Boston Breakers Soccer is brought to you by Bertucci's, a proud partner of the Breakers. By We Got Soccer. We Got Soccer is proud to partner with the Breakers for their 2014 campaign. By the University Sports Complex, a partner of the Breakers, the largest sports facility in all of New England. By Steward Health, the title sponsor of the Boston Breakers. By Katz Sports Performance Center, the official performance training provider of the Boston Breakers. By TCG Network Services, a proud sponsor and the official IT services provider of the Boston Breakers. By Minuteman Health. Minuteman Health invites you to join the revolution. Learn how to enroll at minutemanhealth.org. By CIP Insurance. Visit www.askcip.com. And by Rockland Trust. For more information on Rockland Trust, visit rocklandtrust.com. The NWSL is proudly sponsored by National Guard, by Nike, and by the U.S. Soccer Foundation. The broadcast of this match is authorized by the NWSL. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NWSL is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced by Torbo Sports Group, the official video streaming production company of the Boston Breakers. Hello and welcome to Harvard Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts for tonight's NWSL matchup between the visiting Portland Thorns and the Boston. Goals for the Breakers in this one against Portland, and the scoring began in the 11th minute for the Breakers off of a corner kick. The initial header attempt by Rachel Wood. Kat Whitehill had her shot saved, but it came right back out to Rachel Wood, and she scores her first professional goal in the 11th minute to give Boston the lead. Another look at the goal from Wood. Has to feel good for her to pick up her first of her career. And then later on in the 25th minute, Heather O'Reilly breaking in, able to give the Breakers a 2-0 lead. This was after earlier in the first half, O'Reilly had a penalty kick stopped by Ungerer, but here Ungerer could not make the save as O'Reilly picked the far corner and scores her 9th goal of the season. And then Portland had some chances, specifically Alex Morgan. There's one saved by Alyssa Nair, and it happened a few more times against Alex Morgan. Here's one against Allie Long. Not so much a save, but coming out to deny an opportunity. Here's another chance for Alex Morgan that Nair made the stop on. Coming out to the top of the 6th to cut down the angle. And then finally, this one here. It's a left foot tap by Morgan. Probably didn't get it where she wanted, and Nair was able to make the save. So one half in the books, 2-0 Boston is your score. Wood and O'Reilly, the goal scores. Don't miss our next broadcast as the Breakers play host to the Houston Dash next Sunday, August 17th. It'll be the season finale. Broadcast time is at 6:30, and you'll be able to watch that game live right here. So as we move into the second half, Catherine, we've seen this throughout the year for Boston. They've had a good first half or good moments in a game, but have rarely put together a full 90-minute positive effort. A chance now in the last week of the season, try to erase some bad memories.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this in the 6-3 game when they played Portland. They were up and then it
back
tied
and
it,
forth,
right,
back and forth.
So they want to go into this half. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and sit on it a little bit and play a little bit more defensively and hold on to this 2-0 lead. Like I've told you before, a 2-0 lead in soccer can be a scary one. So they definitely don't want to let Portland get into this early. You know, if they could put a third goal away, that would be awesome for them. They just have to keep shutting down Morgan and Sinclair, and Nair's been doing a great job of keeping them in the game. So.
And again, what's on the line tonight? Portland currently 4th place in the league, having that final playoff spot. Seattle and Kansas City have already clinched. Seattle number 1, Kansas City number 2. You see the standings, 16 wins for Seattle this year after a very tough 2013. Portland with a win today would eliminate both Western New York and Sky Blue from playoff contention, and that would leave it down to Washington, Portland, and Chicago for the final 2 spots. If Portland is able to come back and draw with Boston tonight, and then only Western New York would be eliminated from playoff contention. So Seattle will host semifinal number 1 August 23rd. That's a Saturday. And then Kansas City will host semifinal number 2 on Sunday, August 24th. The championship game will be on Sunday, August 31st. The 2 teams have made their way back out onto the field. Portland right now in its final huddle before the second half begins. And again, be sure to get in contact with us on Twitter at Sudakov and at KC Donnelly 14, asking or answering your soccer-related questions. The only game of the night is here, Boston and Portland. 2 games this coming Wednesday. Sky Blue in Western New York, and Boston will be at Chicago. Beautiful night for soccer in the city. Good crowd on here. Good crowd on hand here in Boston, he tried to say. Looks to be the largest of the season. We're expecting around 5,000. Of course, a hat tip to Portland for the over 19,000 they had last week at Providence Park. A game on national TV on ESPN, and a great way to show off the league. A beautiful stadium and a packed full of fans. So the second half is underway. The Breakers moving right to left in the blue. And we'll see. Of course, the obvious thing to say is the next goal is very important.
Looks like Whitehill is staying in that defensive center mid role today.
No changes that we know of made to either side so far. At the top of the box, it bounces by Morgan and then cleared out of bounds. And by the way, I misspoke. Kansas City will host the first semifinal on August 23rd. Seattle will have the second on August 24th. I want to thank a couple people pointing that out on Twitter. Well, why we're doing it. Both of those games will be on ESPN2, as will the championship game. Alyssa Nair with the goal kick right now for Boston. Just underway in the second half. Goals scored by Rachel Wood in the 11th minute. Heather O'Reilly in the 25th. Alyssa Nair has made 3 stops alone on Alex Morgan. Nadine Ungerer has made a stop on a penalty kick from Heather O'Reilly, or it could potentially be 3-0. Although the goal from Rachel Wood was a byproduct of that penalty kick, which led to a corner kick, so it's hard to say it would have been 3-0. Allie Long trying to play it down the side, and Morgan was thinking about staying where she was. Miscommunication. We have a fan tweeting in from Liverpool, England, asking, as the question we've gotten a lot this year, all the lines on the field here. Well, this is Harvard Stadium, the home field of Harvard University football. And the stadium has been here since the early 1900s. And so you have the football lines on there. Those are the most obvious ones. And then you have one sport in general, but 3 other leagues. I'll mention that in a moment, as Christy Mewis streaking towards the box with the left foot, and the save by Ungerer. So all the other lines, other than the football lines, are lacrosse lines, but you have men's college lacrosse lines, you have women's college lacrosse lines, different altogether, as a foul here will be going on Boston. As we take a look at the previous chance from Christy Mewis, and Ungerer making the save. Christine Sinclair slow to get up, holding the back of her head. It's not a good sign. That's never a place you want to see a player clutching. And then to go along with the women's college and men's college lacrosse lines, you have the one difference. There's a blue arc out on each side of the field as Nair comes out to grab that one. That is for the pro lacrosse team that plays in this stadium, the Boston Cannons, and they have a 2-point shot in that league. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Catherine actually works for the Boston Cannons, so I had to just clarify that. So that's all. Those are all the lines, and of course it says Harvard in crimson in the end zones here. Sanderson redirects it in the box. Ungerer, though, will get to it as not enough space for Courtney Jones.
Hey, Breakers fans, if you're on Twitter and Facebook, be sure to follow and friend the Breakers for all your informative info on the team. Start tweeting with us today by following @BostonBreakers and become our friend at facebook.com/BostonBreakers.
Some nice high pressure from the Breakers to try and keep it in this end.
Allie Long to the center of the field. Here comes Sinclair. Sinclair splits 2 defenders using that speed. Left-footed shot saved by Nair. She does it again. It'll be a corner kick though for Portland. Still a chance for the Thorns to get on the board. Exploded by Wood and Pathman. Nair did a good job, though, getting out, cutting down the angle. Wasn't much space for Sinclair to shoot that one, trying to get to that post. Corner kick here for the Thorns in the 51st minute, looking to get on the board. Low line drive is knocked out by Washington. Trying to keep the pressure on Nikki Marshall. Out of bounds off of Whitehill. Washington clears it out from the top of the box yet again. And now Mewis. Portland, though, keeping it in the offensive end. Into the box, Sinclair with Pathman Pathman there for Boston. Now it's Shim, crossing it to the far side. Headed down, Morgan bounces it to the goal line, cleared out from the line by Julie King.
What a play by King to save a goal.
Boston playing with fire though right now. And King clears it 5 rows up into the seats. Have a good question from Denise M on Twitter. Pretty much saying that fans of the Washington Spirit, Sky Blue, Western New York, and Chicago are all rooting for Boston tonight. She's asking, is anybody rooting for Portland other than Portland fans? And I guess not. Not when it comes to playoff positioning, playoff lives. Everyone is a Breakers fan tonight. I don't think the players on the field for the Thorns care either way. They're going to try to win it for themselves and for their fans. Taking a look at the most recent events at the goal line. And look at Julie King. Anticipated that play. Another angle. And again, Morgan maybe not getting all that she wanted on it. But it was headed for the back of the net if King wasn't there. Rachel Wood trying to track it down. It's Nair, grabs it at the edge of the box. Up the near sideline it goes. And Portland again retaining possession. Rachel Wood, who scored the first goal for Boston, hold up as the game winner right now. Playing her 5th career game. Started the season on the reserve team for Boston. Portland at 9-7-6, 33 points, currently 4th place in the league. Cannot clinch a playoff spot tonight, but a win would put them in very good position. In fact, it would leapfrog them ahead of Washington for the time being into the 3rd spot.
That'll be King's first yellow card on the season.
That is for Julie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Washington has 1 game remaining, as does Seattle after tonight. So Portland, obviously, have a very good chance of moving up to the 3rd spot and meeting Kansas City in the playoffs. We've entered into the 56th minute. These two teams have split the previous 2 matchups. May 28th here in Boston was a 4-1 victory for the Breakers. 3 goals and an assist from Jasmine Reeves, who is still on the bench right now. She entered the day listed as probable with a foot sprain. She did not play on Wednesday, but a lot of players didn't play as they only played the first 45 minutes of that one. There were no substitutions on either side. And then Portland returned the favor July 20th at Providence Park, 6-3, and Christine Sinclair, a hat trick of her own. Play whistled down. And a substitution coming for Portland for the first time tonight.
Looks Looks like Alex Morgan's limping a little after that one.
And Jessica McDonald will be coming in for the Thorns. She'll come in for Mana Shim. So Jessica McDonald, who's tied for third in the league in goals with Washington's Jody Taylor, enters play in the 57th minute. 11 goals this season for McDonald. McDonald, 26-year-old, out of the University of North Carolina. On the near side, Nikki Marshall, pressure coming from Christy Mewis, so she plays it back to Ongerer.
It's finally here, a health insurance company governed by you, its members. As a proud sponsor of the Boston Breakers, Minutemen Health invites you to join the revolution. Learn how to enroll at Minutemen
Portland throw-in.
or come visit them at the fan zone area today.
Bouncing down on the near side for Rebecca Moros. Crosses it into the middle. Sinclair couldn't control it to move into the box, but still Portland on possession. Moros from behind knocks it away from Mewis, and Boston is forced to just clear it out of bounds. So the pressure for the Thorns has been there in the second half. They just haven't finished. Same can be said for the first half as well.
Yeah.
Lots of chances. Back upfield come the Thorns. Long. Trying to get away from Whitehill. Through ball into the box. And coming out in air with Morgan racing after it. Look at as this pass coming up the near side. Mewis knocked it back away, not allowing Nikki Marshall to move up the field on a counter. 59 minutes have gone by. Both goals in the first half. Substitution upcoming for Boston. Katie Shepfer will be checking out.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Boston in the 60th minute.
Joanna Lohman will see her first action of the night. She played the 45 minutes against Kansas City on Wednesday. 32-year-old player has 1 goal on the year. That came all the way back in April against Houston. It was the second game of the year. Has now appeared in 16 games for the Breakers.
Nice job by Washington there, or in the throw-in, sorry, the throw-in for the Breakers.
So in the 61st minute, 2-0 Boston. Alongside Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudakoff. You can find us on Twitter at Sudakoff and at KC Donnelly 14. Join the conversation. We got plenty of action going on the Twitter accounts here tonight. We're happy you guys are taking part. We're trying to do as best we can. We don't have an assistant to pass us questions and let us know of things, so we're sort of trying to monitor on our phones and computers on our own here. So if we miss your question, you could resend it. Maybe we'll see it on the second try as Nair at the goal line.
Looks like it was redirected a little bit there, but she does a good job to recover.
Same story right now for Alyssa Nair, stopping everything in sight.
She's got to be close to those 10 saves tonight, or 15 saves.
15
sorry.
and 15 tonight to set a new club record, the record that she holds, 99, entered play with 85. So if she doesn't get it today, which would be incredible if she got it today, of course. I think she'll have a fairly good chance with the final 2 games. A good question we have right now is if we think women's professional soccer teams will all have quote-unquote real soccer fields in the future.
I mean, that's the hope, of course.
That's the hope. I mean,
right.
You'd like to think so, that eventually.
I know we mentioned a long time ago, but I think the Kraft group was talking about that for the men's side, the New England Revolution, which would be nice.
The talk with them is trying to get something built somewhere closer to the city, or closer to where we are right now. As at the top of the box, nice pass there. Allie Long, save by Nair. Absolutely incredible performance by Alyssa Nair tonight, but may have got her hand stepped on or jammed there, making the save. That would be a tough break at the end of the season. Let's take a look at what happened. Vero with the nifty moves and just a fantastic pass, and Nair went down. She sold out for it and makes the play. It's a throw-in coming from the near side. Trying to continue what we were saying. The New England Revolution, for those who aren't familiar, play about 30 miles out of the city of Boston, where the New England Patriots play. And it's sent towards Nair again. At the top of the 6, makes the play. So the hope for the Revolution is to build the stadium closer to where we are, into the city, make it more accessible for a lot of the soccer fans in the area. And then if you think about it, you would hope that maybe some sort of relationship could be formed by the 2 professional teams in the area, as you have with Portland, and you have with Houston, being able to play in beautiful stadiums. Had the same issues with the MLS, though. When that league started, they were playing in football stadiums across the country, and eventually things improved. New York, a soccer-specific stadium, after playing in a football stadium for many years. Philadelphia, the list goes on. Nair way out on this one. We'll clear it out towards midfield, as we are in the 65th minute. A lot of back and forth in this game, as it's being pointed out by Shane Forbes on Twitter, saying that neither team believing in possession so far tonight, just getting it and getting rid of it. Nair at the top of the box, grabs it again. Also, Shane makes a very astute point in saying that Alyssa Nair is playing ridiculously well.
Pretty good way to describe it.
Good way to put it.
Visit for tickets at LY Station after tonight's game at 5 Cambridge Park Drive. Present your Breakers ticket with the purchase of any special pizza and receive 1 large, 1 topping pizza for free.
Rachel Wood and Heather O'Reilly, first half goals for Boston. Nadine Unger did have a penalty kick save in the first half. Alyssa Nair, though, has made countless saves. Too many for us to keep track of on her own here.
There's another one.
Alyssa Nair, the 26-year-old, played at Penn State from Connecticut. Her season high in saves was 10 against Chicago in May, and she has to be around there right now.
Nice little heel flip.
O'Reilly.
There.
Each team has made 1 substitution so far. Jessica McDonald has come on for Portland, and Mana Shim has gone off. And for Boston, Joanna Lohman in, and Katie Scheffer out. Here's Mewis. The wrong way. Jones was streaking towards her left. The pass went to her right. Throw in for Boston. A good question from Jackie Yang on Twitter. I'll pose this one towards Catherine. Do you think Alex Morgan and Christy Sinclair are the best duo in the NWSL?
They've got to be up there for sure. Oh.
And so we have a foul called. Free kick upcoming for Boston. Played back. Right now, if you think about other duos, Seattle, you have Kim Little and Naho Kawasumi, both right now in the top 5 in goals. Little leads the league with 16. Kawasumi has 9. Kansas City has a pretty good duo of Amy Rodriguez and Lauren Holiday. You can probably make an argument.
Right.
Those are the top 3. Jodie Taylor and Diana Matheson have been strong for Washington this year. Cross towards Mewis, but it was too far. Now Sanderson on the run after it, along with Molly Pathman. Pathman kept it in along the sideline. Right now, you might have to give the nod to Little and Kawasumi just based on the results of a team as general. 15 wins, just 1 loss on the year. Excuse me, 16 wins. Don't want to upset the folks out in the Great Northwest. So the other folks, the Seattle folks, as opposed to the Portland folks, who are hoping for a 2-goal comeback, maybe trying to at least get a draw out of this one. A draw would eliminate Western New York from playoff contention due to some head-to-head tiebreakers. I know you look at the standings and you see Western New York ahead of Sky Blue, but it's a whole formula of stuff. Plus Western New York and Sky Blue play each other on Wednesday. And that game might mean a lot, and it might mean nothing. If Portland can come back and win this one, it would mean nothing. Mean nothing in the playoff scenarios, of course. Not to say that they shouldn't play the game at all. Sanderson takes the ball away. Thorn is down behind the play.
Can't tell who that is from here.
And waiting to see if they knock this one out of bounds.
And over there you can see.
I think that's Catley. Yeah. Hard to tell. I know they have numbers on their shorts, but it's a little bunched up there, so we'll take a look at the injured Portland player on the field. We'll try to get clarification exactly who it is. There it is. Yep, Catley is down for Portland, so she'll be checked out here in the 70th minute. Both Breakers goals coming in the first half. Looking back at the goals in this one, this is the initial goal from Rachel Wood in the 11th minute, coming off of a corner kick, a second opportunity. And Wood, the defender, playing in just her 5th game of her career, scores. Heather O'Reilly, after being robbed on a penalty kick by Ungerer, was able to score this one. 2-0 in the 25th minute. I didn't end up seeing it, but a unique goal celebration. And you see Catley has come off the field. Nobody has come on yet for Portland. So right now they're a player short. throw it coming on the far side. Down to the final 20 minutes or so of this one. Breakers looking to end the season on a good note. 2 more games after tonight. 4-15-2 the record. That header goes wide. Goal kick upcoming for Listener. Portland was hoping to get to the 10th win this season here tonight. Maybe right now looking harder at trying to pick up 2 goals and maybe picking up a 7th draw this year. As coming onto the field is Sarah Huffman. So Huffman, I believe, just taking the spot of Stephanie Catley.
Yeah, the crowd cheering for her. She's a Connecticut native, so maybe she had some family up for the game.
Played at University of Virginia from Danbury, Connecticut. I saw plenty of Portland fans making their way in.
Yep. It's a nice play by Wood to head that back to Nair.
Summer trip to Boston for some of the Thorns fans. The other game was back in May, so maybe not afforded the opportunity at that point. Flag was up. So Portland will take it back over. They have a small group of fans with the PTFC chants. As Morgan going in against Nair again. Try to get her foot up on the ball before Nair grabbed it. Well, Morgan's biggest enemy tonight has been Alyssa Nair, stopping her on 4 good occasions. Breakers will be at Chicago on Wednesday. Red Stars fighting for a playoff spot, 2 points behind Portland. So Red Stars fans watching this one are rooting for Boston, no doubt. And Portland will finish off the season a week from today at home against Seattle. Seattle tied yesterday with Washington 1-1. Kansas City fell to Chicago 2-1. So 2 teams at the top right now in the final week of the season know exactly where they are. Seattle first, Kansas City second, as Jasmine Reeves, the Portland killer in game 1 of the 3 games this year between the 2 teams, comes on for Christy Mewis. Reeves on May 28th, a hat trick and an assist in all 4 goals where she was involved in the first meeting. And those were her first 3 goals of her career at the time. Reeves, a rookie from Virginia Tech, by way of San Bernardino, California. 6 goals on the season for the 22-year-old. Jessica McDonald couldn't get through 3 blue shirts. Portland stays on it. Sinclair, McDonald to her right. Sinclair takes the shot.
Wow.
And diving to the post. Nair makes the stop. Not sure if it was going to sneak in or not or go wide of the post, but Nair makes it look pretty either way.
Let's see it again. Yeah, that would have been in, I think.
No chances taken by Nair, of course. Add another save to the stat sheet. McDonald trying to bank it off Pathman, then go after it. Does gain the throw in though. Throw in all the way to the 6, bounces around and down to get it. Nair. In the 77th minute at Harvard Stadium, alongside Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudikoff. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I want to thank everybody that's been joining the conversation on Twitter, at Sudikoff and at KC Donnelly 14. As Jasmine Reeves at the edge of the box, looking to work her way in. Sends it across. Unger there. Feel free to continue sending in your questions and comments, thoughts on tonight's game, the NWSL in general, soccer in general. Catherine will be back with you a week from today when the Breakers play Houston in the finale of the season. Unfortunately, I will be away for the weekend as entering in the box. Morgan, no angle given to her by Wood. There will be a corner kick. So Portland needs to take advantage of this. Down 2-0. Allie Long going over for the corner kick. Long will be turning 27 on Wednesday. She's tied for 5th in the league in goals with 9. Tied with Seattle's Naho Kawasumi. Bouncing there on the other side of the box, headed back towards the 6. Portland keeping it in. The cross and a header over the crossbar by McDonald.
Looks like we have another sub coming in for Boston too as well.
Breakers will be using their 3rd and final of the night. Another look at the header by McDonald. Kat Whitehill coming off the field for the first time all year. And coming in is Bianca Sierra. So for the first time all year, Whitehill will be on the bench.
You know, it's a different role, obviously, playing midfield from center back. I think she did a good job in there. I think Julie King's doing a good job leading the center back and taking Kat's place there as far as leadership goes, and staying pretty organized, and they both have the speed. So I think it makes sense to move Kat up to the defensive mid position. I think she did well there tonight.
Portland still looking to get on the board in the 80th minute. Cleared out of the box. Sanderson, who's been pretty quiet, at least offensively. Heather O'Reilly angling back towards the middle. Plays it out wide. Reeves on the run against Marshall, a pair of 7s, and Marshall wins it. Wood comes up to clear it back down the field. It's O'Reilly. Got to it first. Breakers trying to keep some pressure on towards the final 10 minutes of the second half. Goals in the 11th minute and 25th minute by Wood and O'Reilly. Alyssa Nair has been spectacular in goal for Boston. Portland has had the vast majority of the opportunities have been on their side, in their favor, and Nair has stopped all of them.
Their team of expert surgeons offers the broadest array of conventional and minimally invasive cardiac surgery options. Visit student.org/cardiac or call 617-789-2045. Student Health, the title sponsor.
McDonald trying to get by Pathman, looking for the cross, and Pathman blocked it. McDonald did a good job of backing away from it, making sure it went out for a corner kick, knowing how important it is for Portland at this very moment and for the season in general. Portland will do anything it can to put 2 on the board in the final 9+ minutes of this one. If they could steal a point, I think they'd be very happy with that outcome. Throw in again. Now, coming on the near side. Vero. bounce it in. Cleared out from the top of the box. McDonald trying to get it through 3 Breakers defenders. And a throw in the corner for Portland.
TCG is a proud sponsor and the official IT services provider of your Boston Breakers. Check them out at www.tcgns.com or call 866-TCG-NETW for outstanding service and support.
Sanderson, who missed last Sunday's game for Boston, playing for her native England.
She scored a goal.
Scored a goal in a 4-0 win over Sweden. Did Sanderson last Sunday. Returned to the team for Wednesday's game against Kansas City. 5 goals, 2 assists on the year for Sanderson. 26-year-old. Led the team last year with 7 assists. This one squirts free for McDonald, and Nair coming out, and it somehow finds her hands.
Finds her hands, wow.
Thought that one was going to bounce free again for McDonald along the end line, or at the very least go out of bounds for a corner kick. Wood went down against Morgan, Pathman down against McDonald. Looked like King actually made the stop, and it popped it up to the hands of Alyssa Nair.
At the end of this game, I hope every single player on the Breakers goes up to Nair and gives her a pat on the back, because she's just played phenomenal tonight.
Sinclair. Great move into the box. Shot blocked down.
It's really just great to see the intensity the Breakers are still bringing. I know we say they're, quote unquote playing for nothing at this point, but pride. But they're slide tackling and doing whatever they can to get in the way of shots. And
a player like Rachel Wood is she's playing for her career in essence. Only playing in her 5th career game, trying to make a mark when she can. And then you have Julie King, the newly appointed defensive captain, and that's cleared out by Lohman as it got by Nair for one of the few times today. Morgan, little handshake there for Nair. Not sure if you caught that on the screen, the fans watching at home, but I think she has respected what Nair has done here tonight. Corner kick. Lohman heads it out of the box. Back in it goes and out of bounds. In the 85th minute, almost through it. So right now, the game winner would be the goal all the way back in the 11th minute from Rachel Wood. Alyssa Nair would love her 2nd shutout of the season. The other one came on June 11th, a 2-0 victory over Washington. League leader in saves has added a plethora to the total tonight. Play has been tilted, though, to the Portland offensive end this entire second half. You almost felt like you're just waiting for Portland to get one on the board, and when you thought it was coming, Nair made the stop. Moros gets it to Morgan. Morgan moving to her left, taps it into the box. Sinclair's shot goes up high. And not happy with the shot there is Sinclair. Or at least by reading her body language. Nair coming with the goal kick into the 87th minute. Breakers looking to hold on for their 5th win of the season. It'll be the 4th at home. Never got an attendance number at the stadium here, but and we're thinking of did get it. So over 4,000 in attendance tonight, 4,191. Biggest of the season at Harvard Stadium for a Breakers game this year. As Portland will make a substitution in the 87th minute. Coming onto the game for the first time, Rachel Van Hollebeck, formerly Rachel Bueller. She was on the injury report, probable with a concussion, playing in her 11th game of the year. Breakers, Jasmine Reeves trying to put the icing on the cake potentially there. And she has scored 4 of her 6 goals. Excuse me, 3 of her 6 goals against Portland. All in that one game back in May. Bianca Sierra gave it up. Pathman had trouble with it. I think it bounced up to her hand, got the handball call. Portland takes it over in the 88th minute, which is almost through. So right now, Western New York fans and Sky Blue fans watching, especially those two teams, and I'm sure Red Stars fans as well as Spirit fans are hoping that the clock ticks up a little quicker. Usually say ticks down, but not here in soccer. Of course, as Nair comes out, gets it. I'll indulge in a non-soccer question. I was asked if Harvard has nice pools, and if I like do I like swimming in them?
Oh, I just got that one.
Is
Who
that
doesn't like to swim in a pool?
Is there a joke that I'm missing?
I don't know.
Am I missing an inside
I'm
joke
not
or
sure.
something? Does this mean something else? But I think they have nice pools. I've never swam in them though. Back to the action. Through ball connects. Morgan against King. Morgan stays with it on her right foot. Tapped it through. Sinclair lets it go. Vero takes the shot. Deflected up all the way out of the box towards Van Hollebeck and out of bounds for the Portland throw-in. Now into the 90th minute. At the goal line, headed out, and then a shot, and Bianca Sierra
It was deflected.
ran over a Portland player.
Oh.
And that's Vero clutching at her right foot, right ankle as she got rolled up on by Sierra.
It will be another Thorns corner kick, though.
Allie Long taking it in the final seconds of regulation, waiting for the additional time. 4 minutes. So Portland has 4 minutes, maybe to get 2 on the board, and at the line again, cleared away. Well, Nair has done her job, but on a couple of occasions, her teammates have helped out. So 4 minutes of extra time added on. Portland needs 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's attendance is a season high 4,191.
Offside are the Breakers. Foul will go on Portland.
The Breakers will take their time setting this kick up. Just some time management.
Looking back at Twitter right now, it looks like they're trying to get Alyssa Nair to be a trending topic. There's a hashtag going
She
around.
deserves to be tonight.
A hashtag going around. Things Alyssa Nair can save. A little long for a hashtag, but it seems like it's catching on. So feel free to join in on that.
That was a Tim Howard hashtag a couple weeks ago.
we get the final numbers for this one, whether we're still on the air or after we sign off, I have a feeling we're going to be amazed by what we see. And that was out of bounds. Reeves couldn't keep it in. Throw in for Portland deep in their own territory. Courtney Jones, haven't heard much from her tonight. Got tripped up, trying to move the ball forward. Draws the foul. She missed Wednesday's game with an ankle sprain. Well, our good friend Ryan Wood had an actual answer for the Harvard pool question. Saying, yes, they have great pools. High school state finals held there every year. So that definitely answers the question of Zachary Freeman. Who was out in Portland, actually. So an interesting question. That ball struck right off. It looked like the face of Molly Pathman.
Probably didn't feel too good.
Able to get back up.
Yep, she is.
Continue on right now. Still around 2 minutes left of stoppage time, unofficially. So Portland might have to sweat it out for a little bit longer if they can't pull off a miracle right now with 2 goals in the final minute. They'll finish off the regular season next Sunday at home against Seattle. Seattle, of course, quote unquote, be playing for nothing, but just staying healthy and trying to stay sharp,
right,
which could play into Portland's favor. Of course, also Seattle might decide that they want to make sure they don't have to play Portland again and try to knock them out of the playoffs if possible next Sunday. It'll all depend on how the games go prior to then. Here's Heather O'Reilly with Jasmine Reeves streaking up the middle. O'Reilly couldn't get it to her. Gets knocked out. And the final whistle sounds. The Breakers scored 2 goals in the first half. Rachel Wood in the 11th minute. Heather O'Reilly in the 25th. Wood's goal is the game winner officially. And you see Alyssa Nair
getting lots of high fives and hugs. Well deserved.
She probably played, or we'll definitely say she played her game of the year to help preserve the 2-0 victory. And Boston able to pick up its 5th win of the season, 4th at home. And now Portland falling to 9-8-6. Boston will win the season series 2-1. And now for the time being, Western New York and Sky Blue stay alive, which for those two teams sets up a heck of a matchup on Wednesday night when the two teams will play in Rochester, a game that can be seen on ESPN2 this coming Wednesday. So I know the TV executives will be happy that that game is going to have major playoff implications, as one of those teams will try to stay alive with the win. Portland, of course, though, still alive. They're in 4th place with 33 points, 2 points ahead of Chicago, 2 points behind Washington for 3rd place. Taking a look at how we got the goals in this one. The first and the winner by Rachel Wood in the 11th minute, the first of her career, playing in just her 5th game. It had to be a good moment for her. Also saw it carry over a bit on the defensive end against Alex Morgan and Christine Sinclair. And then later on in the 25th minute in the first half, Heather O'Reilly, after being stopped on a penalty kick by Ungerer earlier in the half, able to deposit that one in the back of the net. And the Breakers with a 2-0 lead that they never relinquished, in spite of the fact that Portland started peppering Alyssa Nair at the end of the first half and through most of the second half. Alyssa Nair, the league leader in saves. And here's a few of them. Most of them against Alex Morgan in that first half. sit back and watch what Alyssa Nair did here tonight to help lead the Breakers to the 2-0 victory. And so the Breakers, after this win tonight, will play the final road game of the year. As you take a look at some of the highlights from the second half as well. Nifty news by Vero Boquet, and led to an alley long shot, but a big save by Nair on that one. Look at it. And it just kept on happening for Alyssa Nair. This one later on in the second half. Got some help from Julie King, and when things are going your way, the ball finds your hands. It does on that occasion. So the Breakers with the victory will pick up their 5th win of the season. They'll play Wednesday at Chicago. And meanwhile, Portland will be off until next Sunday when they finish off the season against Seattle. The Breakers' final home game will be a week from today, Sunday, against the Houston Dash. So again, the final score, Boston 2, Portland nothing. Breakers 5-15-2. Portland falls to 9-8-6. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudakoff. I want to thank all of you that participated with us on Twitter. Thanks for your questions, your comments, and we look forward to doing it again sometime in the near future. Catherine will be back with you next Sunday for the broadcast against Houston. She'll be joined by Ben Altscher. I'll be off on a weekend getaway. So tonight is my swan song for the 2014 season. Had a good time this year, 2nd year in a row, having the honor of calling the action for the Boston Breakers in the NWSL. Once again, we thank you for tuning in, and the final score, Boston 2, Portland 0. So long from Boston.